How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Ready for some energy here? So keep your energy for the whole thing.
Yes, yes, I'm ready. Well, my brother's babysitter used to have sex with him. Think about it. I know that's like a guy's ultimate fantasy, or a young guy anyway, but it really messed him up. Like, he lives in a Jeep, and I've been incested by my brother, my father, and my sister. It's a chain. And my father doesn't show his feelings. He's a genius doctor, but he's so like dead. I took care of him for a while after he left my mother, and we kept house. It was the happiest time of my life. When my father got married again, I started this primal wailing, jilted crying thing. Everybody was embarrassed. I mean, it was so obvious. So I ended up on the street, and I was a junkie.
What about your other brother?
You know about him?
Yeah.
He's my stepbrother.
Oh,
I don't want anything from him, Bradley.
didn't he do anything when you fell on hard times?
Yeah, he's why I left LA. My identity was in danger.
Hmm. Identity. You know what this is?
Steven Spielberg?
Wrong. This is me with $500 million and a beard.
I don't understand.
Sometimes character is an obstacle to be overcome. How do you like your job?
I love it. It's a great part. I chanted for it.
Oh, that's right. You're a Buddhist?
No, chanter. I'm a chanter. I chant for things I want.
What's the chant?
I hope you don't mind, Bradley, but I can't tell you.
Oh, okay.
It's just some words.
That's okay.
You say them over and over.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if it wasn't for these words, I'd be in an insane asylum today. Like my mother made a house out of like a box and lived outdoors. Like she wouldn't come in. Out of the winter snow, she forbore to come in. She was insane. I wish she chanted. I wish I could go back in time and give her the chant.
I wish you could too. So you seen Victor?
How'd you know?
It's obvious the way you look at him.
I chanted for him.
What do you mean?
I chanted. That's how I got him.
He likes you too.
You think so? How can you tell?
He wrote a new scene for you in the movie. He's building up your part.
Oh, that has nothing to do with anything.
The director thinks it does.
George thinks that what?
That's all right. It's natural. It may even be good for the picture.
What?
I thought you'd end up with George, not Victor. What do I know?
Oh, every movie has like one central person behind it. Sometimes it's the director, sometimes it's the writer.
Sometimes it's the producer.
I didn't mean to leave you out.
Bear with me, Brenda. But everyone knows you're the one in this film that's going somewhere.
Really? I'm just happy to be included with so many talented people.
Bear with me, Brenda. But Victor got lucky. This script could be a good movie. If George hadn't picked it up and decided, I'm doing this, Victor would be back off Broadway, where maybe he belongs.
Well, I think the script is so wonderful. Most scripts are just shitty.
This is an $8 million movie. We're shooting for 5. It's my job to make the numbers work. They don't work, so I'm a little bit under pressure right now. Maybe that's what makes me indiscreet. But you're the star of this movie, Brenda, not the director, not the writer, not me, and certainly not Colette.
You don't think she's good?
She's a stage actress. This is a
Yeah.
film.
Okay, but she seems really good to me.
She's a stage actress.
Oh, you mean she's too big?
Way too big. She makes these faces that are supposed to be, I don't know, cute. It's grotesque. It's kabuki. I'll tell you this. Her close-ups are getting the wrong kind of laughs on the dailies.
Oh no.
Your stuff's sensational.
I haven't done anything yet. Well, except the staircase.
There's a scene you look up to answer him. I leaned over to George. I said, she's a star.
And what did he say?
He nodded. He moved his head anyways. I mean, he could have been agreeing with me.
I find it hard to know what he's thinking.
He's weak.
Colette seems so skilled to me.
I know this is going to sound cold, but she's just a stiff. Her eyes are dead.
Well, what does Peter think?
Peter. All Peter cares about is the light. He's a cameraman, a gadget geek. He's not even interested in human beings. You know that light meter he keeps holding up to your face?
Oh, is that what that is?
Oh, what you think it was?
A makeup analyzer?
Never mind. All Peter cares about is the reading on that meter. If he tells you after a take that was really good, that means he liked the exposure. He's not interested in acting, in story. He's not even interested in money. He's an idiot. I hope savant. But George, on the other opposite hand, he's a golden boy. Acres of brains. Connections for days. More charms than Salome. A cunning fuck, but weak. And weak is death in a director.
So you're telling me the movie's no good?
That's not what I'm telling you, Brenda. I'm telling you that I've been in dailies. And we had an idea what this movie's supposed to be, but now the movie's talking back to us. The movie is telling us what it is. And if we ignore that, if we ignore what the movie is telling us to our faces, then we've blown it. And the movie's no good. Then it's a bad movie.
So what's the movie saying?
The movie is saying that you, not Colette, is the star of the movie. The movie is saying that it's tired, that it's too long, that it wants to get rid of about 7 scenes. The movie is saying that the director is weak. So we've got to be strong.
Who?
You and me. By default, or through you somehow, Victor.
What about Victor?
You seem to have some influence on him. He wrote a scene for you.
That was his idea.
Brenda, the point is we can save this movie.
Look, I don't know.
The director is weak.
I don't know how to judge a director yet, Bradley. This is my first movie.
He should be strong. Very strong.
Well, I guess that's true.
The director should tell the writer, look, it's too long. We don't have the money. We got to cut 7 scenes.
What scenes?
None of your scenes, Colette's scenes.
But she's the star. Everybody loves her, and she'd be so upset.
We got to cut her out of the picture.
Cut her out. She's the star of the picture.
You're the star.
Okay, but what about the story?
It's too bad. It should be more mysterious. If we cut out Colette, it'll leave a mystery where she was.
That's true.
But that's a good point that you're making. We would need more money.
Money. I didn't make the point about money.
We need some bridge scenes to span the Colette gap. So Dustin Murphy's your brother?
I don't like people to know that.
No, that's what got you the job in this picture.
That's not true.
It was down to you and another girl. your brother's somebody famous, a little bit of that sparkle rubbed off and made you just a little more attractive to George.
No, I chanted to get this job, so
I'm sure the other girl chanted too, but her brother wasn't a movie star.
he's not my brother. He's my stepbrother.
If you heard that you were on the verge of breaking through in the business, on the verge of becoming a major second earner on his family tree, wouldn't he help you?
What kind of help?
Money! Ching ching money!
You know, a lot of people have tried to take advantage of my connection to Dustin, but you've got to be the clumsiest.
Maybe that's my charm.
We haven't established that you have any charm. You're gonna make me a star.
I could.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Good. Now that we established a common language, what do you think?
I've got Victor.
And I've got the movie,
It's the director's movie.
but the director is weak.
You say.
You know I'm right.
And Colette?
Is a dead plastic mistake.
Dustin's not gonna give you any money.
No harm in asking.
That's not so.
All right, that's true. You ask Dustin, he says yes. You've used up your one big chit. You ask him, he says no. You found out you never had a chit. But let me ask you this. Do you think you're a good actress?
Yes.
If you got the shot, do you think you could make America love you?
What's a completion bond company?
Who the fuck have you been talking to?
Some Teamsters.
That's a company that seizes control of a picture if it goes too far over budget.
Is that what's gonna happen to this picture?
Not while I'm alive.
How's your health? How would Victor change the script to make it for me?
We'd focus more on your feelings, maybe some voiceovers over your face, your thoughts.
I have a better idea.
You do?
Let me save Johnny.
But Johnny dies.
Why?
It's the big scene.
Okay, it'd be a bigger scene if he lived and I saved him and we cut Colette down, but not out. She was the one who set him up.
How romantic. So you get the guy.
I get the guy.
Again, how romantic. I don't know if it's a better ending, but it's better for you.
It's better.
You talked to Victor about this?
A little bit.
You chant for it?
Constantly.
Should we have a drink?
Nah, you go ahead.
Does it jive with your beliefs?
When I'm near the thing I want, I shouldn't blow it over a margarita.
What do you want?
I want to be famous.
Why?
I don't know. Is Colette really bad in the part?
I don't know. I don't know anything about acting.
Me neither. But I'm good.
Can I ask you something?
You're the producer.
What does that mean? You're good.
It's the bottom quality. I can't explain it.
You really do come across on film vivid.
Good. That's all I care about.
I guess that's why the camera likes you. You're faithful.
Are you gonna get George fired?
I would lay down my life for George Lee Beach.
You just finished saying how weak of a director he was.
That's right, he is. He's also the guy that gave me this shot when nobody else would. He made it possible for me to come back as a film producer, producing a Go picture on the streets of New York. I think he saved my marriage. My wife hates LA. She says the water's hard. I know he saved my career. after the indictment. I kind of think he saved my life. I don't give a fuck about this movie, except as it detracts from or enhances the career of George Lee Beach. He's been the best to me that any man has ever been. What do I care if he's weak, that he drinks too much, that he's deeply influenced by whoever he spoke to last? Every picture has its reality. The reality of this picture, the director is weak and there's like 5 people fighting for control.
I count 4.
Everybody wants to be an artist. If there's a chance to stamp, everybody wants to jump in and make it their fucking stamp. But this project's gonna fly to pieces unless there's some kind of coalition of principles or demi-principles that agrees to some kind of direction.
Oh, what you're talking about is cutting off George's balls.
That was already taken care of long ago, honey. What I'm talking about is saving what's left of George out of gratitude. And saving what's left of this picture so we all look good.
I'm not gonna ask Dustin for money
Why not?
because you don't need it. You just think you need it. Producers always think the answer is money because money's all they know.
We need money.
No, we need Victor to cut 13 scenes, rewrite 2, and write 2 new ones.
2 new ones for you.
For me.
Oh, nice. Now, rewind. Cut what 13 scenes?
We don't need the car crash.
You sure?
Yeah. We don't need the helicopter shot, therefore we don't need that gyrosphere or that gyrosphere operator. We don't need the character of Helen, and we don't need the effects at all.
My niece is playing Helen.
I know. I didn't say there wasn't going to be blood in the water.
When did you figure all this out?
I chanted about it.
We don't need the effects. We don't need the helicopter. And we don't need Helen. You're about right. We don't need money. But does George have a movie?
He has a better movie. And you know the union guy that comes in at the end and gives the big speech? Well, I was thinking my stepbrother could play that part. And if I ask him, I think he would.
That would be incredible. His voice on the trailer would be worth at least $1 million.
Are we like in league here?
What about Victor?
I don't know. I mean, what the best way is to get him to do needs to be done. I'll have to chant about it.
All right, I'm in. Let me ask you something. This is your first movie.
Right.
How do you have like this ferocious bite on the script where you think you know exactly what has to be done to it?
I had William Goldman read it and analyze it.
William Goldman? How'd you get William Goldman?
He wrote my brother's first movie. I've known him since I was a kid.
William Goldman? Jesus!
Well, you're impressed.
William Goldman, he's a cons judge. He's a Miss America judge, for Christ's sake. He's a giant. You got his notes on our script?
10 pages, single space.
Can I see them?
No,
Why not?
because I don't agree with all of them.
You don't. This is the guy who wrote Butch Cassidy. This is the guy who wrote All the President's Men. This is the guy who wrote Tootsie, for Christ's sake.
He didn't write Tootsie.
So what? I bet you they offered it to him. You know what I mean? My point. Who are you to even read this man's notes?
You know what your problem is?
What?
Low self-esteem.
That's true. How did you know that?
Look, just do yourself a favor and follow my lead, okay?
God, I'm so physically uncomfortable. I'm sorry.
What's the matter?
Well, this is kind of disgusting.
What are you talking about?
I got a strange problem.
What?
I got on my rectum, an ulcer, a surface ulcer, a canker. It, as big as ah, the crab, the crab.
Really?
It just keeps getting bigger.
What causes a thing like that?
I don't know.
Been to the doctor?
Not till this film's in the can.
I admire your commitment.
I keep changing the dressing. I just can't seem to keep it dry.
You mean sweat?
No, it's runny. It runs,
Oh,
and it has an odor, a fetid smell.
really?
Needless to say, hasn't been too romantic for my marriage. I know it's an actualization of my fears.
What are you afraid of?
Everything's interrelated. My marriage, George, this movie.
Well, you should get clear then, because those are all different things.
How do you know?
Here,
What's this?
call that number.
What is it?
A holy man.
No, thanks.
You'll call that number if you want to get rid of that physical problem, Bradley. That guy will fix your sore.
You find me repulsive?
Are you coming on to me?
No.
Didn't think so.
I would never do anything to jeopardize my third marriage. Do you think I could go out and get a fourth nice young woman to marry me? The world is not that big. No. I've got to keep my record to where it is. 2 divorces. The third marriage is a go. It works. Have you ever been married?
Not really. Briefly. Twice.
Then you know what I'm talking about. Should we call him? Maybe I'll call him.
Do it.
What's the time frame on Victor?
You tell me.
If he makes the changes and the changes are right, and the changes are as extensive as you described, George has got to read it Thursday, approved, so I can do a major production meeting on Friday, talk to the money people and make some projections over the weekend, and jump into a new schedule on Monday morning.
So we have 3 days.
You have 3 days. I'm going to get those scenes cut with you or without you. But if I have to do it without you, I'm not protecting your part.
You said I'm better than Colette.
I don't know anything about acting. I don't care anything about acting. I know that this movie is too long and too expensive. And I'll be goddamned if I'm going to let the completion bond company come in here and take what's left of George Lee Beach's career. Do you understand me?
Yes.
I don't give a fuck about you, except as insofar as you aid and abet me in my goals. If you can powder your own ass at the same time, good for you. I won't stand in your way. But don't kid yourself, Brenda. You can drop names and seem certain and have a battle plan of attack better than Julius Caesar. But if you don't come through with your notes, you're just another piece of meat to me. I've been there before. I've felt it all before. It don't mean nothing. I'm free inside. God damn it! My ass is killing me! It's driving me nuts!
Call
Ugh.
that number.
Fuck you, get out of here, I got work to do. Fuck this case. God. Give me Bill Goldman. Yeah, now.